Hello again. Like, yes, doing that weird thing again. Okay, whatever. But yeah, we're back. Let's do this. Oven is currently preheating. I'm gonna get the strawberries cooking because I've already got my sauce made. It's a sauce that I made myself. It's a bechamel, not a bechamel, a bolognese sauce, which just basically means spaghetti sauce, like red sauce with meat in it. And I've got some more sausage that I'm going to use for the pasta, for the lasagna. Put some heat in there probably, make it a little spicy. But yeah, I'm going to do a couple layers of a ricotta cheese blend, and then going to do a bechamel sauce for it as well, just to give it that nice, rich, creamy texture that most people don't know they can do with like 3 ingredients. So, you know, well, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients, yeah. So, you know, why not? Also a cheated Alfredo if you don't know how to make Alfredo. But let me grab a cutting board. Let's get started. Okay. I've got everything everywhere. I did shred my cheese already because me standing there for 10 minutes shredding cheese isn't something anybody really wants to watch. So let's get that. That. And this one. So, I'm going to have 3 pots going on the stove. Just for shits and giggles. Start off, opening this. Putting our meat in here. Okay, that's in there properly. Quick hand wash. Grab a spoon. Turn that heat on, about medium high. Let that do its thing. Now, my knife. What do I need the 3rd pot for? The bechamel, okay. Figured just go ahead and get it out for, you know, whatever reason. I'm going to cut the tops off all these strawberries. Quarter them. Just real quick, throw them in the pot. Doing this the same way we did the blueberry galette the other night, but I'm doing strawberry and lime instead of blueberry and lemon. I would normally use lemon. I have lemon, but I have a lot of limes because for some reason they were on sale for 8 cents each. So yeah, I bought like 9. Probably stupid, but if nothing else, we'll just make some drinks. Make some margaritas or something. I got tequila. The beef is, well, not beef, sausage is just now starting to sizzle. If you want to use beef, you can. I much prefer sausage because it just has so much more flavor. If you want to use like a beef sausage, that's totally fine too. You can use whatever you like. But yeah, good times, good times. Oh, that's a leaf. I bought these strawberries the other day, and they are starting to look like they're going to go soft. So, figure why not go ahead and use them tonight. Because lasagna isn't really a really a hands-on dish. Like, I made the red sauce, so most of the work is done already. I just know these strawberries are going to cook for a while. And then I'm going to like mash them up a little bit too. Just a little bit of a better texture. Well, maybe, we'll see. I don't know. I've never done this before. We're going to see what happens. We're in this together. I'm intentionally letting the meat sit there and sizzle, not touching it, so I can get a little bit of caramelization on it. Get some nice little round bits on there. And then when that's done, I'm going to throw my sauce in. You can use any kind of sauce that you have, any kind of sauce that you want. You can do Alfredo lasagna, honestly, 100%. Alfredo with chicken or turkey. No, turkey. But those go great together. You can use ground chicken, grilled chicken. You can get a rotisserie chicken and actually pull the chicken off the bones and then mix it with the Alfredo sauce and layer it up in your lasagna. That's a great time-saving little hack right there. Let me get rid of these. This is getting... Oh yeah, they got some color on it. That's what I was going for. Just a little bit of crispy colorness on there. Break this all up, because we don't want giant chunks in the lasagna. At least I don't. You can leave it bigger. Just work it. The more you work it, the smaller the pieces are going to be. That's really more of a preference thing. If you want to do it to where you have big chunks of meat in it, by all means, go nuts. You're the one that helped cooking this. You make the decision. I like smaller pieces of meat because it makes the lasagna more uniform and more even, so I can get more in each bite. Mixed with that bechamel sauce I'm going to show you how to make. Oh my god, phenomenal. But yeah, that's looking good. Turn that down just a smidge. A little water in here. Some sugar. Count the strawberries, about 2/3 of a cup of sugar. I don't want it too sweet, because I still want to be able to taste the strawberries and everything. But I want to know that it's sweet. You can use any of the sugar substitutes you like. I recommend adding those at the end. Most of those are chemical based and don't really react well with a lot of things. So, in this bowl, we're putting our ricotta. Get our knife. Just cut into this. It's sealed. See, strawberries and ricotta are a great dessert just on their own. Wop. Into the bowl. Onion powder. Ricotta is more for creaminess. It doesn't really have that much of flavor. It's more of a texture thing. So, basil. A lot of basil in there. We want all that flavor. Some garlic powder. Stir, 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 stir. This is a blend of cheese that is Parmesan and mozzarella. This one is just mozzarella. I separated those earlier because this small bowl is going to go into my bechamel and this is going to go into my Alfredo sauce. Did I turn that down? I did. Turn that a little more. All right. Oven is ready. This is all broken up nice. This came out the freezer a couple hours ago. If this shit goes too long, I might actually just show y'all how to do my red sauce. which is essentially a 200-year-old recipe. It's not mine, it's not from my family. I learned it from a couple different nonas, little Italian grandmas from this channel on YouTube called Pasta Grannies, which is absolutely amazing. I highly recommend everybody check it out. Have a good one, Roxanne. Hey, Pamela. I miss my Pammy. So that's in there. We're going to add, actually let's go over here to do this. I want to crack 2 egg yolks. Crack the egg over the sink. Let the white fall away. If you want to save the white for something, you can. Just do it over a bowl. No big deal. Always crack your eggs on a flat surface. Never crack your eggs on like the side of a bowl or side of a pan or something. There's much higher chance you're going to get shards in there that way. Like ridiculously higher chance. Oh good, that's going. Let's give this a good stir back here. Now this is just strawberries, water, and some sugar. What temp? How high is that? That's actually pretty high. So give that another minute on that temperature. Then I'm going to turn that down about medium. Okay. We need salt in here. Always salt to taste. You can always add more. You can't take it out. Ricotta, again, is a very, very plain flavor. I know about how much salt it's going to need because I've done this a couple dozen times. So, but even then, I always taste everything. So, get this all mixed together. Y'all can see it. A little more. So, I'm not concerned with raw egg yolks or anything. I'm more concerned with making sure my stuff tastes right. Oh my God, so much better. That's done. Set that aside for now. Just a little stir. Turn this down. It's like medium. Now, we're going to get ready to start our bechamel. I'm doing at least 2 lasagnas because this is something that's always done in like big amounts. You can't really make a small lasagna. I mean, you can, but I'm busy. So I would rather make 2 or 3 now and then be able to come back to them later, kind of thing. Yeah, I can do a 3rd one. I got a 3rd one. Got my little baking pans. I love these so much. Bake King pure aluminum. Got them from Goodwill for like $3. And these are worth some money if I would ever actually try to sell them, but I will never sell them because I love them. I showed them to a baking friend of mine and she got so mad at me. And I was like, Yum. This is so good. A little hotter. Okay. Let's get our bechamel going. Medium high. Just have to put those down. While that's melting. I'm not so much concerned with the lime zest. These limes are tiny. I think I put the juice of 2 limes in here anyway. So. This will take about 30 minutes or so to cook normally. So of course you will get the end result at the end. You know, check back later on after the. Check back around 9 o'clock tonight or tomorrow morning or something. It'll be uploaded by then. So that once I finish, once we eat, then we're probably gonna go to bed. Because there ain't nothing else to do right now. Also be careful, I just caught it with my finger, but be careful of your the little stem bits on the end of the lines. They do come off, they will fall on your food. I picked the other one off earlier because I was playing with it, waiting for 7 o'clock because I've been ready for like 20 minutes. So, come on. Melt, 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 melt. Let me turn you up some. I didn't put any salt in you, did I? Oh, I also see a leaf. Come here. Yes. Aha, out of my strawberries. A little bit of salt. You don't want a lot. It's like a quarter teaspoon or so for a pound of strawberries, and like about a cup of sugar or 3/4 cup of sugar, just because you want to be able to enhance the flavors. Everything needs a little bit of salt. You can leave it out, it just tastes better with it. Turn that way. Okay. Turn this down. It's bubbling now. It's simmering. Turn it down. Just get a whisk. Come over here. We've got 3 tablespoons of butter, which means we need 3 tablespoons of flour. It's always equal amounts, flour and fat. Always equal amounts. Whoop, some flour. Oh well, that happens. Put that back on the heat. Get that wet sand, Play-Doh looking stuff that looks, you can even see it. Like, it looks like it's never going to turn into anything. But you want it to be in this stage for like a minute or 2 because you want to cook it out. You're going to have that raw flour, gritty taste, and you do not want that. Flour is very thirsty. Flour is a great thickener, but flour needs to calm itself down a little bit. So that's there. That's there. That's done. Cheeses are ready. Bring this over here for my bechamel. I just have to keep it moving. Something it can burn fairly quickly, but you don't want it to burn. So I just keep it moving, keep it going around the edges, kind of thing. Okay. After about a minute, oh, this milk expires on my birthday. Hit it with the milk. Whole milk, 2%, 1%, whatever. It doesn't really work that well with skim. The fuller the fat, the better, kind of thing. But yeah, see, that just turned into that ginormous blob of mashed potato looking grossness. Once you get that blob, add a little more milk and slowly start to turn it. You don't want to splash it around anywhere. It's going to be insanely lumpy. If you do not want it to be lumpy, use yet another pot and heat up your milk. If you have your milk heated up over here and add hot liquid to your roux, which is what you just made, then it's guaranteed no lumps. I do not want to do another pot, another dish. So I add a little bit of elbow grease and makes mine nice and thin. No lumps. And more milk, because again, this is not something you want. This is you don't want a sludge consistency. You want a cream consistency, and that takes a minute. But we ain't got nothing else going on, so. Any questions or anything, y'all feel free to let me know. been nice and smooth. Still looks pretty thick. You want it to be a thinner consistency, just because when you do put the cheese in it, it's gonna heat it up. The cheese is gonna melt, it's gonna make it nice and thick. You want it like a really thick milk kind of thing. A lot of people swear by adding a little bit of nutmeg to their bechamel. It's not something I really do, so I don't really worry or really concern myself with it. But now we got a nice thick, like a but it's got like the consistency of heavy cream. That's when you know you're there. Start adding in your cheese a bit at a time with some Parmesan and mozzarella that I grated earlier. Oh, my arm's getting tired. You don't need to really do any crazy whisking or anything right now. I will turn the heat down some, just on the safe side. Parmesan, mozzarella. I just want to make sure that it gets nice and incorporated. Like y'all saw how thick it was a couple seconds ago, you're about to see how thick it is when this cheese is added. Like we might need to thin it out again, actually. There are exact measurements you can find online, I'm sure, but I honestly have never been bothered to look them up. I've just done this 178 times, so I know the consistency I'm going for. It's more of a trial and error thing. So I'm like, wait, that's not right. That's way too thin. Now I fucked it up. Now I gotta start all over. Okay. Now I learned. You don't fail, you learn. Oh my God. My arm is killing me. Okay, this is bubbling nicely. I want to bubble that down essentially to like a jam consistency. This sauce is nice and hot. Time to pretty much start layering. Is that everything? Yeah, cool. I know this is going to need seasoning, but I want to test to see how much it needs. So creamy. You see the difference in the thickness there? That's what you're going for. You can taste the cheese in it too. Oh. I put in about 2 cups of cheese. If you double the cheese, you essentially have Alfredo sauce. It's a foolproof way to make Alfredo. Alfredo, let's see if memory serves. 1 cup of heavy cream in here. Cook it down to about halfway. Add 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 cups of Parmesan grated, and get that going very much like this. Then thin it out with more heavy cream until you get the consistency you want. But you got to keep it moving. Yeah, 2, 2, and 4. So it just works better if you cook down the first cup of heavy cream about halfway. But not over high heat. You really don't want it to be boiling, because boiled milk scalds and you taste it, and it never tastes good.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna adjust my pepper milk here so I can get a finer grind. Turn the heat down on this. Stir, 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 stir. If anything gets caught in your whisk, just turn your whisk in the pot, and this way it'll help you incorporate the bits of cheese or bits of pepper that's stuck inside of your whisk. Because it's going to happen. It's a thing. So there's nothing to really worry or concern yourself with. So, okay. Turn off. Turn off. Okay. Got my meat sauce. Got my creamy, creamy, creamy bechamel. I'm going to go ahead and start my layering. Do not need a whisk anymore. Let's get this pretty, pretty spoon here. Get a spoon or two of the bechamel into the bottom of your pan. Mix it all around. Like you want to coat the entire bottom of the pan with the bechamel. You can use the red sauce too. I like the bechamel because if it does start dry out, it gets that crispy cheese, crunchy bits that are always amazing. Just a tiny little bit more. There we go. But of course, it depends on the size of your pan too. Help that along there, so we don't have all that. Where's our pasta? Here's our pasta. Pasta. You basically want to go in alternating layers. Kind of thing, like one sheet down, cover the bottom of the thing, stretch it out, try to get it as even coverage as you possibly can. My ricotta, another quick whip up here. The fork is probably not the greatest thing in the world to be using right now. Want to just plop some ricotta down. Then using my spoon, I'm going to smear it around. Now, even coverage, you want every bite to taste the same. It's like paint the lasagna noodles with your ricotta mixture. See? Pretty. Now, I don't need that anymore. I have another spoon I can use. Oh, this will work actually. This will work beautifully. Get you a big scoop of your meat sauce. Put that right there. Another like half scoop. Again, depending on the size of your pan, you just want to use enough to make sure you get everything covered. Cover, cover, cover. Get our mozzarella. A little bit. You don't want a whole lot. I mean, you can go batshit if you really want to, but you don't really need a whole lot because you need more of it for the top layer. If you notice your bechamel already has a skin forming on the top of it, that's totally fine. It's because it's cream based. That's what happens when dairy gets hot. So, ladle on a couple more scoops of that bechamel. You really want it to be like kind of saucy. Because when it goes in the oven, the heat from the oven is going to help a lot of it evaporate in the first place. And then your pasta noodles, which are dry as fuck, they're going to absorb a good bit of that liquid too. So, yeah. You want to make sure it looks kind of saucy. You don't necessarily want it swimming, but you want it saucy. And make sure when you do the pasta, when you're layering it, you do one layer this way and one layer like this way. This way it gives it structural integrity when you go to actually cut into it. So when I cut this into fours now, it'll hold its shape. That's a little trick they didn't teach nobody. That I had to find out like kind of on my own. So, do a ricotta, plop, plop. Smear that around. If you want to season in between these layers too, it's fine. But at this point, you should have tasted everything to know exactly, like, you know, if it needs salt or not. But if you don't do that, you can always just leave the salt on your table. There's no salt on my table because I don't need to put salt on my table because I test everything like 17 times. I made this sauce, I know it was good, and I tested it a couple minutes ago. So, yeah. Another amazing thing of cooking your own food, you don't need to constantly be running back to the salt shaker because it's already done, because you already did it. Like, I don't even actually have a salt shaker in my house. Like, I don't see the point in having one. A little more cheese on there. Couple more. Oh, the skin's already back. That's how fast it goes, y'all. Just drip that ooey gooey bechamel all over. Again, real fancy ass name, because it's literally, the name of it is called a bechamel or a white sauce. Because my mother, growing up, would make like hamburger steaks or something in the pan, and then she would put some flour in the pan and some milk, and like evaporated milk and water, and use that to make gravy for the night. I spent the first 20 years of my life calling that grease gravy, because it was gravy made out of grease. So yeah, I found out there was actually a whole other name to it. Something my mother had been doing for years, because she'd learned from her grandmother, or her mother, and her mother, and blah, 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 blah. So, like, I called her one day and asked her how to make grease gravy. She explained it to me, same way I just showed you. I'm like, well, I don't know how much to add. She's like, just add until it's right. Like, real simple. Just add until it's right. I mean, it's not hard. I think 3 layers is pretty much all this is going to hold. Spread this out some. Yeah, looking good. Stir, stir, stir. I also grew up until I was about 15 calling Salisbury steak that meat I like. Because I would ask Mom, like, we're going to have that meat I like tonight? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, I'll try back again in a few days. But yeah. That meat I like. Salisbury steak. It's all the hell it was. So. But I got 3 layers of everything in here. I did the cheese on top this time, because that's what's really going to hit the oven. Set this the hell out of my way. I have enough for 2, definitely. Maybe not a third one. I can definitely do 2. Same way as before. Lop, lop, lop. Remember, that's how much we needed last time. Go as quickly as you can. Because once this starts cooling down, and the cold pan or dish, whatever you use, is going to cool it down, it starts to get real thick. So, there we go. Hi, Jenny. Just, yeah, I got just enough ricotta to do like 2 more layers, looks like. So the top layer won't have ricotta in it. That's fine. Smear, smear, smear. Excuse me. I'm fat, I have asthma, I'm a smoker. I cough. Now I'm probably going to cook both of these off tonight. Then just set the other one in the fridge, and we'll have it, like, you know, for lunch or something tomorrow. We're not even going to finish this tonight. This whole one. Like, we'll never finish this. Check on my strawberries. Stir, stir, stir. Yeah, so you got the pasta, the ricotta, the beef, or the sausage, the cheese, then the bechamel. You have all these beautiful layers that are all going to work phenomenally together to make sure that this tastes amazing. Remember, saucy, saucy, dry ass pasta, hot ass oven. Which side did I start on that time? Okay, that side, okay. Couldn't see it, so I couldn't remember. And this is the last of the ricotta. Jesus, it's going to be a thin painting on this one. It's all good. ricotta. Thank you for your help. Smear this all around. Remember, good even coverage. There's just enough to do. A little bit more on the very tip top. So, which I'll just cover that with cheese, it'll be fine. So I can stretch like one more layer out of this. I hope. It also helps is when you layer the lasagna down, go ahead and like smush it a little bit, like to flatten it out. Really helps spread everything all around. The rest of the meat, sauce, not a whole lot. But honestly, I don't mind. Like, yeah, this lasagna is going to be a little bit lighter than the other one, but I'm not being wasteful. Like, I'm actually making sure I use everything. So, not mad at that at all. Just drizzle the rest of the bechamel in here. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Now that that's done, just use this spoon to smear it around. Make sure we get all that dry ass pasta covered. Now we can top it with the rest of our cheese, which we still had about 3/4 of a cup of cheese there, so this one's just gonna be cheesy, cheesy, cheesy. A little trick I do like to do, what I've done with a lot of lasagnas before, is I toss a little bit of thyme on before I bake it. So like it adds a nice little touch to it. Let me just get over here and check this. Okay, you're off. Okay, good. I think the strawberries might not be firm enough to turn into a galette. You're going to find out tonight. I have some time, don't I? That was my drum. Okay. I don't have time. Oh well. Whatever. But these are the two lasagnas. You can see this one, big, thick, rich. This one, scant little guy. But honestly, it's still gonna get 8, so fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. The oven is at 375. It's going to take about a half an hour for both of them. Because this way, we have a home-cooked meal in the fridge. Just needs to be popped in the microwave. So, I don't think this is going to work. No, these are breaking to pieces. Oh well, we're going to try it anyway. So let's cook it down some more. See what happens. I think I should know what's going on. But you can always cut up some parsley and put on before you throw it in. It actually works better if you put it on after it comes out, because it can tend to, once a lot of the greens cook, they lose their color, and you want the parsley for the color. It's not, the flavor is okay, but it's mainly for color. So I'm gonna do some parsley, get this place straightened up, and in about 15 minutes I'm gonna throw my bread in. I bought the bread. It's one of those take and bake things. So, hello Tiffany, hello Ellen. Like y'all just came in as I'm finishing up. So, yeah, remember 7 o'clock. But hope y'all are having a good night and a good day. And I will post the finished dish, of course, at when it's out of the oven, looking all delicious and bubbly. So, thank y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow night.